A very quick story for you this morning on a Tuesday morning since the holiday shoved us away from Monday. We lived for about 9 years in West Virginia. Lovely people, lovely place, just one of the greatest times of our lives. We lived up on a ridge, a hill, a tall hill. You gained 1,100 feet the last 3 miles before you came to our house. Your ears would literally pop, and twice by the time you got up to our house. It was a lovely place. So was. The view was amazing. And there was a community up there that we really loved. And we got to know all of our neighbors. We got a rule. Anytime a new neighbor moves in, we're going to go see them. We're going to get to know them, see if we can get them to come to church with us. And we were very successful, frankly, on that mountain. Well, there was a new family moved in, maybe 70, 80 yards down below us. And I said to my son, Duncan, let's go meet our neighbors. Duncan at the time was probably 8 years old, and so he and I and our primary dog, we had a secondary dog in case the primary dog ever failed to function, but our primary dog, an 80-pound lab mix of sorts, was walking down with us. We got within a certain number of feet of the door of this new house, and the screen door burst open, and 3 Chihuahuas came flying out. Now, these weren't your average Chihuahuas. These were killer, murderous Navy SEAL Team 6, armed to the teeth, blooded in battle Chihuahuas. Snarling and barking and raging like berserkers out of the Norse gods of old time. And they came flying at us. Now, my dog looked up at me, and I looked down at my dog, and I said, don't laugh. We're not really sure what psychological issues brought them to this stage. And then my son, well, we had time. We had a moment of time there because there was a ditch about 1.5 feet deep with some tall grass in it. And they were making a hard time getting through there. It was a bit of a struggle. We could see bits of grass and spittle flying up, so we knew they were making progress the best they could. But my son looked at me and he says, why do those little dogs think they can hurt us? And I said, son, there's so much about this planet I don't know. But I do know dogs, so we're going to stop right where we are, and we're not going to move. Sure enough, I had barely said that before the screen door opened again, and 2 huge dogs came out. Huge. One of them, we found out later, was a Norwegian Elkhound. The other one was, I don't know, a Clydesdale. You know, pulling a beer truck. There were little dogs around him in orbit. He was so large. He was a house. He was a house that barked. We later found out that these Chihuahuas were all over 10 years old. One of them was 13. One was blind. One was epileptic. I have no idea what the other one, it may have had some mom issues. We'd really never had time to examine that and explore those possibilities. One of the Chihuahuas, in fact, was named Killer. Another one was called Dynamite. And again, I don't remember what the third one, maybe Bob or Ted Bundy, something that was not ordinary, not extraordinary enough for me to remember it. But as they're coming at us, the big dogs come out and just sit down and look at us. And I looked at my son and I said, now you know why the dogs think they can kill us. They've got backup. We've been in quarantine for a long time. The world's gone crazy. No matter where you stand on the quarantine thing, the world's just crazy. So I want to remind you of something. There are a lot of days when I wake up in the morning and I feel like a blind, epileptic, 13-year-old Chihuahua facing the world. But it's okay. I've got backup. And the same with you. I bet there are days that you feel like those wee Chihuahuas as well. Well, gird your loins and go at the world, buddy and sister, whoever you are. Because the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit said, lo, I'm with you always. Baptized believers, we got the gift of the Holy Spirit. You got backup. You may look wee and silly to the world. I have no idea what's behind you. Go for it, killer. But don't actually kill.